everyone and welcome back to my channel. So I decided to do today's Taboo Tuesday on a mental health topic. I'm going to sort of be discussing being on antidepressants at a young age and the implications, all of that sort of stuff. I don't think I've properly done a video like completely dedicated to this before. I just thought I'd give you a little bit of an update. I started antidepressants at the beginning of February. Yeah, I think it was like the beginning of Feb. So it's been like 3 months now that I've been on antidepressants, and obviously they've fully kicked in now. 6 weeks is usually the period where like it reaches what it will probably be like for you. So if like the certain amount of milligrams that you're on hasn't changed anything, then they usually up your dosage to like 100 milligrams or whatever the next one is. But I'm currently on 50 milligrams. I'm on sertraline, which is a serotonin uptake inhibitor. Serotonin is sort of like the happy chemical, and basically I don't have enough serotonin in my brain, which is why I became depressed. And obviously depression can be triggered by many different things, and I was diagnosed in December, and then I had like basically from Christmas until the end of January I was given the decision like to try and better myself. Like the doctors have to give you like other options before they actually put you on antidepressants. So I was given advice to like have a better diet or sleep better, and just like all of the small things that I wasn't able to do because I was depressed. So it was literally impossible. I had problems sleeping because I was suffering with like really bad post-traumatic stress disorder. And yeah, I just sleeping was one of my biggest difficulties. So it was literally impossible for me to sleep. And that was also making my energy levels low and probably enhancing the whole depressed feeling even more. So yeah, it was very difficult. And obviously after that like really hard month, like December and January, my hardest months, suffering with depression, I decided to start antidepressants. I was always very skeptical about it. I know there are so many things that people are worried about, like when it comes to like being on medication for a mental health problem, but I see it as obviously everyone's got their own opinion on it, I know, but for me, like if you break your bone or you don't feel well, like you physically don't feel well, then you just take medication without even thinking. So when you're not right mentally, why would you not want to take medication to try and sort that out? And I always thought like, how can a little tablet change the way my mind's working, change the way I think? And I've never been more wrong, like being skeptical about that. Like I've literally changed incredible amounts since January, December time. My mental health has literally like skyrocketed in an amazing place. Like I'm just in such an amazing headspace right now. I'm just cracking on with life. Like in December, I didn't want to do anything. I was in my room constantly. I was scared to leave the house. I couldn't sleep. I was literally crying 24/7, at least 6 times a week, if not every single day. Just sitting in bed constantly, not wanting to do any work, had no motivation to do anything. And I'm such a driven person. Like I always want to be working. Like I'm literally having a whole filming like morning, afternoon, and then going straight into revision after this. Like I'm just generally like a driven person. Like I always want to be doing work. So for me, it was so hard, like knowing that I wasn't my usual self, because I know obviously what I'm usually like. For me, I might do like a whole video about what probably caused my depression and like what things happened throughout my life that probably led me to that point. Obviously that's going to be very hard to film, but I feel like it will help other people feel comfortable like sharing their story with other people and not feeling so isolated from everyone else, because we've all probably gone through very similar things. Like we can all relate to each other. There is empathy within so many individuals that you probably don't realise. It's just obviously not a lot of people talk about these sort of things. It can get quite like isolating. Like I always felt quite isolated when I felt this way, and until I started speaking about it, I never realised how many people were suffering. Like as soon as I upload these sort of videos, I get like quite a lot of messages from people who have felt very similar, been through very similar experiences to me. And not only has it made like other people who are watching this feel better, it also makes me feel even better that other people are relating and we're all in this together sort of thing. It's just a very supportive network, people who have been through mental health issues, and I just sort of want to want people who have never suffered mentally to sort of understand how hard it can be and things that you can do to make people in your life who are suffering with mental health problems better, because I can imagine it's very difficult to understand. I probably didn't understand when I was younger really until I started suffering with different things myself. But I know like some of my family members have never suffered with it, but they're trying their best to like understand. Same with my boyfriend. But I think because they've been living with me and they've spent a lot of time with me, they sort of have come to terms with like how to deal with certain things when it comes to it. Like, I don't obviously want to be treated any differently to anyone else, because having a mental health illness is nothing to be ashamed of. Like, so many people are suffering, and it doesn't make you any different to anyone else. It's just like sometimes people aren't really sure like what to say or how to help you in certain situations. But I feel like I've like completely become myself again. Obviously I have days where I do feel down, but it's literally like once every few weeks, which is insane to me, because every single day I was feeling so incredibly low and depressed that I just didn't really want to be around anymore. I don't really want to talk properly about that in a minute, because it does make me really sad thinking that I ever was the way I was. But yeah, I don't know, I just think it's so important that I share my experience to help other people. So yeah, anyway, I've been on these pills for 3 months, and it is literally just, like, I've just completely changed as a person. Apparently for the first 2 weeks of medication, a lot of people suffer even worse, so you have to sort of get through the first 2 weeks. However, I didn't really suffer very much with like crazy symptoms. I just sort of had like really low moments. I had really dry throat, and that was about it really. Like, it didn't really affect me that much. I just sort of like got on with it, and I just knew that if I stuck this out, because I know people in my friends, my family, it's worked amazingly for them, so I just thought if I stick with it and hope for the best, then hopefully it will work for me. And it literally has. So I can't even explain like how amazing I feel right now. Like, I feel like there's so much weight that's been taken off my shoulders. I feel like I'm living every day like in the moment a lot more. Before, I was just constantly focusing about like worrying about the future and what was to come, and just being on edge constantly. Like, I'd leave the house and just feel physically sick from anxiety, and I can't believe I was like that. But yeah, the medication has seriously helped with all of that thing, and I don't think it's a placebo at all, because I was so bad that I didn't think anything could save me, and it was just like the last option. I did try everything else first. Like, I've tried so many different things. I've tried counselling, I've tried other different bits and bobs like medically, and like the antidepressants was the last resort, but I knew that I needed it, otherwise I don't know what would have happened, to be honest. I just would have got like even more depressed, and I really didn't need that, especially at uni. It's really hard when you're on your own. Obviously I've got my friends here, but sometimes like when you're just sitting in your room on your own, it can be very isolating again, and you start overthinking a lot. I'm sure a lot of people do this anyway, even if you don't have depression. Like, it can get quite negative being on your own, and you don't have like your family to support you and stuff. I thought this update would be quite insightful for those of you who are probably following me on this journey, who might also be suffering mentally and like a bit on and off whether to go on medication. But if I was you, I'd definitely consider it as an option, because like I said earlier, if you had broken something, hurt yourself, were feeling physically sick, you would just straight away try and find some medication to solve it. So you should just treat your brain the same way. It's very important to like have a healthy mind. Like, being on the tablets has made me want to better myself in all the other things that I couldn't before. So I'm like going to the gym a lot more, and that's incredibly good for my mental health, which is obviously working very well alongside the tablets that I'm taking. I just feel so energized and motivated after going to the gym. I'm completely focused on my workout, so I don't even think about anything else. Like, I don't think about the studying I have to do when I get home, or things that are going on in my personal life or whatever. I'm just completely focused and just in a nice little bubble when I'm at the gym. And then I'm eating a lot better. Like, obviously I have really bad days, like you'll see from my vlog channel that we order takeaways and whatever, and it's just a bit mental, but I feel like I am preparing, when I do cook, like nicer meals for myself that are going to look after me and my insides. So yeah, I don't know, I think taking the medication has made me get back on track with my life. I would find tasks like cleaning up and doing things just very draining. Like, I wouldn't even be able to like take my clothes downstairs to wash them, or change my bedding, or just I know it's so gross, but I just literally couldn't be bothered to do anything because I didn't see the point. Like, I was like, what's the point in doing that? Like, how is that gonna change anything? Like, I just literally had no energy. I was just so lost with who I was. It was just a really dark, negative place, and just the tablets have basically saved me. So I just thought I'd do a little update to say that I'm doing really well. Like, I haven't noticed a negative difference at all, because I know some people don't get on well with it, but more often than not, everyone I know has had a very positive experience with going on antidepressants when they've been at a really, really low point. So I just want to do this video to give people hope, because I really thought there was no changing how I was feeling at that time. It's only temporary. Like, honestly, it is seriously like only a temporary thing. You will become so happy and back to your normal self as soon as possible, even if you find other things that work for you. Try counselling if you haven't already. I know it's super hard to like ring up or go in somewhere and ask for counselling, but especially if you have like a free support service at university or work or whatever you're doing. Like, I have a student support centre, and although it was so difficult for me, when I had like one good day in like weeks and weeks, or like one day of the month where I felt like a tiny bit confident in myself, I just forced myself to go in, because I knew that it was going to make me feel better. I knew I was going to be doing something that would progress mental health state. So yeah, whenever you're having a good day, or even if you have someone who would call up for you, someone you confide in that you don't mind telling, go counselling, because it's so nice to talk. It's so refreshing to talk to someone who has no idea about anything in your life, and you can just blurt out how you're feeling, if anyone's negatively affecting you, what you think is making you feel the way you feel, or even just talking about how you're feeling can like let like a psychologist or a therapist, counsellor have an insight into why you could be feeling the way you do, before then directing you either to the doctors or to something else that might help you get better. So yeah, I just thought this video would be nice and like sort of happy, like obviously not happy because I've been talking about depression, but like how your life can be completely changed from something. And just to let you know that I'm doing really well. Like, you'll probably see from my vlogs that I've been glowing internally. Like, I'm just so like bubbly and chatty and back to my normal self, and I definitely can see the difference. Like, if you watch one of my vlogs from December, then back to like a vlog that I'm doing now, it's just mental to see like the energy in my voice, my like face. Like, my face was so dull and dry, and I was just like, I looked like I was slowly dying, because to be honest, I felt like I was slowly dying as a person back then. But now, yeah, I don't know, I just see a massive difference in myself, and some people have pointed it out actually in my videos, and I don't see that as a bad thing at all. Like, a lot of people might take that as an insult, but no, I see it so much, like how crazy I've changed, and I don't know, it's just really great, and I'm so thankful that I finally found something that works for me. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Let me know if there's anything else you want to see for next week's Taboo Tuesday, or one in the future, depending if I have time, because it is exam season. I'm stressed a little bit. Thumbs up, subscribe down below if you're new, and I will see you very soon for another video. Bye.